Hi everyone, Kevin Muldoon here. In this video what I would like to do is a comparison of 6 different cases for the Google Nexus 6P. Now I have reviewed each of these cases on my channel before, so please do check the description area below and you'll see links to those videos. In each video you'll find more information about where you can buy it and more information about the cases, etc. You can see here that there's 2 different styles of cases. I have folio style cases at the top and I have bumper style cases at the bottom. Now I only have 6 cases here, and that represents, in my opinion, a good sample of the cases out in the market, but there's probably about 100 different cases available out there, and they're all variations really of the same kind of design. But I think this does represent a good sample of the cases that you'll see in the market. First, what I'd like to do is talk about these bumper style cases, so I'll move those out of the way. So here I have the Spigen Rugged Armor, I have the Moco Anti-Drop Hard Polycarbonate case, and as you can see here it has a silicone cover on the inside, and here we have the Lawn VP Crystal View bumper case. That one was very cheap at only £3.99. Now this is the first case that I purchased. This is the Spigen Rugged Armor, and in my opinion this is the best case that I've got so far. Out of all the 6, this is the best case I've got. I've used all of these cases. I made a point of using them all at least for a few days each, which was really difficult with the folio style cases because I'm really not used to using folio style cases. I do prefer this bumper style, and I just found that the Spigen case overall was the best option. Now I'll tell you why, because this Lawn VP one, very cheap, very flexible. Now this was a very good option because, if we can get it on here, one of the great things about this case is it's so thin. It adds next to nothing to the size of the Nexus 6P. The Nexus 6P is a very thin phone, so to have something like this on it is really good. The design looks really good, apart from this label, which I should probably have taken off by now. It looks good, the buttons, everything feels good. The kind of main problem that I had with this was that I feel it's a little bit too slippy on the back. I don't know, it's just the material. I found it when I was holding it, the phone was a little bit too slippy. And the other thing was, you can see here there isn't really any lip on the front, so you don't really have any protection from drops when it goes like that. It's not a massive problem for me because I do have a tempered glass protector on the front of this to protect the screen, but I would have liked a little bit more protection. Still a really good case though, and it's actually one of my favourite cases after the Spigen Rugged. I'd probably put this number 2 as my favourite case. It's just a little bit too slippy. Now this one, the Moco, it comes in 2 parts. You have the silicone case that you put on the inside, and then you have the hard plastic shell you put on the outside. Now I'll put this on a little bit crudely here, but it's just to show you quickly what it looks like. I've pushed some death buttons here and I think I've restarted my phone. Yes, I have. One thing just to say again is that all of these phones, you're not going to have any problems at all with regards to connecting your power or using the buttons or connecting your headphone jack. So that is not something you're going to have to worry about. As you can see, I'm putting this into recovery mode there for some reason. It's pushed all the buttons. So this case was very good. I was happy with it. The only thing I would say about this case though, it's just too bulky. It really was too bulky for me. You can get an idea here of how much bulk it adds, and for me that was the main thing that I couldn't really get used to with this phone, with this phone cover. And you can kind of see it here, look at the thinness of the phone and then look at the thickness of this case, and you can see his comparison there, that that one added pretty much nothing. It pretty much doubles or trebles the width of the phone. But if you're looking for protection, this kind of style is really good. It's going to give you a lot more protection It's got protection at the top and the bottom of the silicone cover, and it's got the hard plastic in the back. So that's a really good option. You know, if you're in a job where you're worried about dropping your phone, you know, if you work in an environment where you're scared about using your phone and dropping it, I can see why someone would use this kind of cover. It's just, for me, I just found it a little bit too bulky. I still like the case, works really well, it does exactly what it says it's going to do. I just thought that it was a little bit too big. And that is why I thought that the Spigen was the better option. It's not as thin as the Lawn VP, but it doesn't really add too much. And you can see here, it's got a little bit of a lip to give you a little protection when you put the case down. It adds a tiny little bit of bulk, but not much. And I really like the design, and it isn't slippy. So for me, that is why, out of all the 6 cases, I believe that the Spigen Rugged Armour is the best case overall. It's not the thinnest, but it just has a little bit of bulk. It's quite good. You know, it gives you a good amount of protection all the way around the phone. It's not as protective as that, the Moco, but if you're going to choose something like this, you're going to add a lot of bulk, and I think they've made the right compromise with this. You know, it's the right amount of protection without adding too much bulk. So this is the one I would go for, the Spigen Rugged Armour. Now, if we move on to the folio style cases, and as I said earlier, I'm not a big fan of folio style cases. I did try them all for a few days each, and I just couldn't get used to it. Again, the same problem that I had with the Moco, the plastic shell. The problem that I have with these folio style cases, first off, is that it adds a lot of bulk, and that's something that I really don't want, especially with a phone that's kind of quite thin. Now, they all can have a similar design. They all have the plastic shell in the middle, and then they have the leather outside it. It's all the same. Now, this book cover one is the biggest one. It's got, you know, you can see it's kind of like pistol grip, little indents here for your fingers, and it's got a wallet. It's got 5 slots there, and you've got the plastic shell in here. The problem that I had with this one is it doesn't close, you know, and you can see that there. If you close that over, it just kind of hangs like that, which I didn't like. That's something that put me off. Now, this is the book cover case by GMYLE. This is the wallet case clip. The wallet case clip is actually $10 cheaper, but I feel like this one is a better case overall than this one. This one is priced more expensively, and I just think this one's better. You know, it's only got 2 slots there. You've got a little bit on the inside here as well in both of the covers. But you can see here it's thinner. Much thinner. But the thing that I liked about it is that it closes. You get to there and it'll close on your phone. And that's something that I really liked about this, because for me that's a big problem with this case. The fact that it just kind of hangs like that. So out of the 2 cases from GMYLE, I would lean towards the cheaper wallet case clip. But the other option that you have is this one here. Very similar again design. This one's from a company called Snug, SNUGG. Same kind of design. You've got a bit on the inside here, and you've got 3 different pockets here for your credit cards, etc. You put your phone in the middle and you fold it over. The only difference that you have here is with the GMYLE cases, you have the plastic cover going all the way around, so you've got protection for knocks, the top and the bottom, and along the side, and you've got, you know, obviously the protection with the leather. But this Snug case doesn't have that, because at the bottom it doesn't have anything. It's got cut-offs for your headphone jack and for your power connector, etc. It's not a major problem, because you've still got a little bit of a lip here between the leather and the actual plastic shell in the middle. The lip's a little bit smaller though, and I just think overall though, I think it's a good compromise. Like, not having this little shell at the top, it's not really a major problem, because if your phone did fall, it's going to land like that and it probably won't hit anything anyway. I found that this case was overall the better fit out of them all. And if we slot this in just now, show you. That's the snug case. Now this one is the thinnest one, just by a tiny margin. A little bit thinner than the one from GMYLE, and you can see it there. The problem that all of these cases had though was that when you go to use the buttons here, your finger kind of hits the side of the leather case. It hits the side of the leather here. Especially in this one, because it's got this little strap. When you try to use these buttons, your thumb or your finger kind of half hits the button, the volume button or power button, and it half hits the leather lip at the side. That is just a problem that you're going to get with all of these folio style cases. So it's not something specific to this one. And all of these cases as well, they can all be displayed like that, so that if you're using your phone, if you're watching YouTube or something, you can set the phone down and watch a film or do whatever. That is something that I would like sometimes, you know. I would like to be able to use my phone in that way and to watch a film, but day-to-day use, it's not something I think I'll miss. And I do think that for me, I lean more towards these bumper style cases rather than these folio style cases. The 3 folio style cases I preferred, that I tested, I did prefer these two. This one slightly got the edge, not by much. I mean, there's really not much between these two. And the bumper style cases, I think I had a good variety with the bumper style cases. I think the Spigen's the best overall. This is really good if you want something thin, but it is a bit slippy. And this one is great if you want protection, but it is a bit thick. So you're going to make compromises with both of these. And that's why I think that the Spigen Rugged Armour is the best case that I've tested so far. Now, there's a lot of other cases out there on the market, so please do look around and do some research. You're going to find some other great reviews on YouTube, and do check them out. I realise you can go a little bit over the top with checking out all these kind of reviews, but I hope you have found this useful, because I know myself, when I'm looking for reviews of cases, I do check YouTube, and I do check the reviews on Amazon so that I do pick the right one for my phone, because if I'm going to be using a case for 2 years, I do want to pick the right one. And for me, this was the Spigen, and I just like the way that this works. You know, I like the way it fits, like the way it looks, like the way it feels in my hand. All in all, for me, the Spigen Rugged Armour, it was the best case. I hope you've all enjoyed this comparison video. And again, please do check the description area below. I'm going to put links to all of the individual reviews of these cases. Please do check them out, and you'll get more thoughts about what I've thought of each case at the time when I checked them out. And you'll see links to the official websites for these companies as well. So thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please do leave a comment below and click subscribe to my channel. I've got some cool videos coming up soon, so please do subscribe so that you don't miss those out. And as always, thanks for watching. Till next time, guys. Cheers.